answer questions and be honest and sound intelligent.
All right.
Okay?
All right, we are live here on the After Party here on Sports Talk 104.93 BKCT Facebook page. Great show, great regular show. Now on as our After Party guests, Bowling Green Purple's head coach Mark Spader and a couple of his guys. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing well, but you said after party. I mean, so we didn't get to come to the party. I mean,
No, usually the After Party's cooler. You want to be invited to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, at my age, after party's probably best. So I've got a couple of offensive linemen with me today. I have these are all seniors. I have a center, Mason Dew, and I have Brooks Nuckols, who plays tackle for us, and then a guy who's helping out on the offensive line, but primarily a defensive lineman, Taiyon Parker.
First off, before I forget this question, no NIL in high school, but you have to sign something when you get to college inevitably with Mountain Dew. Have you ever thought about that? Do you like Mountain Dew?
You know, with as much hype as the last name, I've never really been into it as much as people expect.
Wow.
That's tough.
Stay away from the sodas.
Okay, good point. Yeah. and Nuckols, there's a lot that could go with that name, too. That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Haven't been really called anything my last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to
brawling.
fighting. Yeah. Regular questions now, Coach. How's the offseason been for you guys?
From winter to spring to summer, I like how this group has gone to work. Of course, you know, we're kind of winding up those long summer practices, and that can be kind of an up and down, but mostly up. We've had a couple of duds that I'd like to take back, but can't get those back, move on to the next day. So now we're getting into school mode, game week mode, and you know, we'll see as we pull it together. We've got, you know, some guys like these gentlemen here that are stepping back in with us, and then they've got to help bring along a whole bunch of new starters. So it's exciting though. Year 36 for me. And it's what I love about high school football is, you know, all the faces that come up, and you go through the season, and who's gonna show themselves. So,
Coach, and for players as well too, how excited and motivated are you to get this season going, coming off of what happened last season?
I'm really excited for the season to get going. You know, I want to bounce back from last year and show people what Purple's football really is.
Money in the bank every day, just working harder and harder every day.
Yeah, I echo the same message as Taiyon. You know, when people look at last year, you know, that is not what we usually do. So getting back to playing Purple's football is what I'm most excited to do this fall.
and I'm not so much looking at last year's. I just get excited for every season, and we get to play in a great bowl game. That's, you know, Rafferty's stands behind us every year. We're back up at Western this year, and it's going to be 2 marquee games. And, you know, with our schedule, it's just very exciting. The teams that are going to come into town this year to play at our stadium are some of the top teams in the state, and you know, we get to measure ourselves against them. And you know, what else would you want? I mean, it's why you put all the work in, and you know, why our guys do what they do.
How is the roster shaping out this year? Obviously, you lose some key senior pieces from last year, but a lot of core guys who got a lot of experience the last few years, they're back.
Yeah, you know, we had, you know, 4 or 5 freshmen out on the field by the end of that region championship game, and that's bad news while it's happening, but the good news is they're back as sophomores with experience, particularly at our quarterback position. A lot of their teammates are going to have to step into some of these places, but, you know, we have a good core of seniors that I really trust, and they're going to help guide those guys along as we go through this early part of the season where a lot of them get baptized.
Coach, you mentioned earlier about the schedule. With the successes Bowling Green's had over the many, many years, do you find it difficult to schedule teams to play because they know what you're up against, or do other teams come out, you know, they relish the fact that, hey, Bowling Green wants us to play, hey, let's play them and see where we're at?
I think we're just in a position where it is hard to build our schedule. There's not a lot of area teams that want to play us. So everybody wants to pat me on my back and talk about this tough schedule I put together. I'd really rather have a whole bunch of local games in addition to some of those tough games. But it is what it is. I've gotten to know a lot of coaches out in the state and form relationships with them, and we like to measure our teams against each other.
Okay.
And barring something crazy like last year where we had a terrible string of injuries, it usually pays off for us when we get in the playoffs. We've seen every situation. We've seen every offense, defense. We're kind of weather tested and ready to go. So, I enjoy the fact we play that type of schedule.
Kind of stemming off that, for the players, you guys take on 4 teams that either went to the championship, won the championship, or went deep in the playoffs. How much do you like those games on the schedule?
Me personally, I love those games. It shows how to fight against adversity and see what we're really up against and how good we're going to be. And just battling against all the good teams makes us better and make us go harder together as a team.
Yeah, it makes us a stronger team every time we play them. Win or lose, makes us way better.
Yeah, and I'd say it also preparing you for the playoff run, and what that takes you getting these quality teams into Bowling Green early on, that shows you what level of play you need to step up to and what level you need to achieve to finish the goal.
For the coach and players as well too, I believe he had a scrimmage already, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
talk about how the scrimmage went and your overall thoughts about how everybody did in the scrimmage.
Well, it's what I expected out of a first scrimmage. Oldham County, I have a great deal of respect for Jamie Reed, their head coach. He's in his second year there building that program. But, he runs a hard-nosed offense. It's similar to what we'll see against Scott County when they roll in. It's tough to defend, so it was a good test for our defense. But, first scrimmage is always good, bad, and ugly. There's, so many things to correct. But our kids are smart. They know what we have left to work on, and now we've worked this week, and we're going to travel up to a really good Louisville male team on Friday and take another step in our season. What'd y'all think of the scrimmage?
I think the scrimmage, it was good to see how we are after all the off-season work, and it's always fun to get into that first scrimmage, get punched in the mouth, and see how you can bounce back playing your first game and see all the things you need to fix, what you did well and what you did bad, and it's just a great test to start off.
Yeah, I agree with the test part of that. It also shows you when you really can't recreate game shape and that feeling of being in a game. So when you get going, you find out, how much more conditioned you need to be, and everybody always needs to be more conditioned, but just getting into that first game type environment.
Coach, for you brought him up earlier, Anthony Davis, starting quarterback, or not started, but he got that starting job a couple games in. He comes in after a 4-year guy like Deuce Bailey, so it's kind of hard to live up to those expectations right away. But how do you feel like he's progressed throughout the year last year and over the offseason? What's he looking like at this point?
Well, last year I was really impressed with his maturity. I guess maybe it's my age, but I just made that change, and everybody kind of played along with me, and we really put him behind the 8 ball with the strength of the schedule we had to roll him in there as a freshman. I was just really proud of how he went to work with Coach Leach each week and would find the mistakes he made in the game, and they'd correct those, and then he'd would go against another good opponent, and what are things he did. And he had a really up and down season, but particularly the region championship game against Atherton, there was a time there in the second half where, reality was setting in, but I felt like he still continued to play hard. He grew in that game, and, he ended up starting in basketball as a freshman, so that really helped his leadership, and he has just carried it forward into this year. So, I expect great things from him.
Coach, you brought linemen here with you tonight, so talk about the line up front, especially those 3 that you brought with you.
Well, I think our defensive line is going to have tremendous depth this year, and that's always good to be able to roll guys in and out, and a lot of them have played in the past. Offensive line-wise, we're returning 2 starters that are here with me now with Dew and Nuckols, and there's probably 6 guys that are vying for those other spots. And I think we will eventually settle in, but we've also built some depth there. Guys like Taiyon Parker here and Keaton Vinegar have really gotten serious about helping us on the offensive line. And that's tremendous because, they're going both ways at times in practice, and they're going to do that some in games. And I do think that for the work our coaches and players are putting into it, when we pull that offensive line together, that's going to be really important for us.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you ever have a team slogan? Do you believe in slogans?
I really don't. I mean, I should. I mean, I've had guys in the past that, I mean, we have such tradition and all. Our kids grow up wanting to be Purples. They know what it's all about. I mean, we break down on family. I mean, a lot of teams break down on state champs and things like that, but we really like to try to build a tight bond. Our coaches get close with our players, and I think it's just that experience of being in our field house. And I got tested last year. We could talk about the season, but I was so proud of how our coaches and players hung with it, came to work every week. Whatever bodies we had there, they were stepping in and going to work. And, as unfortunate as the season was, it's still a learning tool in that life's not always going to be great. You're not always going to hold the trophy at the end of the year, but our guys learned how to, persevere and battle through that. So, I like that bond that we formed. But no, we're not I guess we're trying to climb back to the top or something like that. How about that?
I like that.
Climbing back to the top. That's what we're doing.
Or how about rise up? How about rise up?
Ooh, rise up.
How about climbing back to the top?
Okay.
Thanks, Coach. Man,
You got to rise up.
yeah. For the players come in, because like I said, linemen still hang together, sticks together, eat together. Talk about the camaraderie on the offensive defensive lines.
Yeah, we've got a great group of guys this year, and I think, having played football together for what's now 7 years, going on our 7th year, we built a great bond between us all, and I feel like it's just, who else would you want to go to war with on Friday nights? And that motto carries on, into school and even outside of the school and football building and life.
Yeah, it's like a family. You all got to be in together, close bond and everything.
I feel like our line, defense, and offense, we're all sort of a band of brothers, and we all hold each other accountable, and we're ready to go to war for one each other.
Now, I feel like I know the answer to this, but from the player's perspective, tell me the culture and the expectations you guys have every year, because I feel like, we're talking about how, I guess, down last year was, but still made it second and third round of the playoffs. Many teams would just kill to do that once. So talk to me about, what's expected of you, how that's preached day by day, and how you work to get to that spot.
Well, I'll say what's expected from us every day is to get better. You don't want to waste a day being lazy or anything, and the expectation is always to be, you want to get your name on the wall with the state championship, but it most matters that you're getting better every day and putting a foot forward and leaving that stamp.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we've got a rich history, many state titles, one of the best teams in Kentucky.
Yep. And every day coming into the building and be physical, be nasty, and at the same time put in all the work that you can, fly around.
So, do you three like playing offense more on the line, or you like defense more? We can really, really lay that shoulder and pads right into the opposing players.
Well, Dew and Nuckols are offensive linemen only.
Okay.
So
Okay.
They are truly in the trenches.
They've been funny if they answer this defense.
Tayon's athletic enough that he's come over to help with the O-line, but he loves the D-line, let me tell you. So, and he's the epitome of a defensive lineman. So you've got two pretty quiet, structured, quiet guys here, and then you've got Taiyon singing Christmas carols in his head. But that's what it takes. So, but it's a good crew of guys, and I especially like to observe, and because I'm not calling either offense or defense, I stick my nose in everything. But I really like how this year I'm seeing that a lot of our older players are coaching our younger guys, and that's what it's going to take. We're going to have sophomores stepping on the field in big spots, and our seniors are taking them under their wing and coaching them through and encouraging them, and that's so helpful. So, that's the culture we have right now.
Now, obviously, you're the head coach, but you've got a lot of support staff that helps you out, a lot of really good, talented position coaches, coordinators, whatever it may be. Anybody new that's coming on to help this year?
We've added a couple of support type coaches stepped in. We lost an important person with Clay Stevens. He was our special teams coordinator, secondary coach, and ex-head coach, which is important to me. moved up in central office. So we promoted Josh Childs from within to the special teams coordinator's job. We added Chase Proctor, who's an ex-champion. He had coached with me in the past. His job worked out where he could come back. I love having old purples coaching in the program. And then we picked up a guy from Tennessee, Nick Jenkins, who's working mainly with our younger guys, but he's pretty intense. And, we've been really spoiled with how good our staff is. We have 16, 17 guys that really care about our program and our kids, and I think it pays off on the field.
And now, might have some breaking news for you. You might be losing a coach soon. Coach Lindsay. I'm just kidding. He's going to be helping his
Can't
daughter
lose
coach
him
softball.
because if I lose him, I'm then the oldest coach. So
Okay.
I'm Coach Lindsay's my right hand man, and I need him there so I can still be young.
No, we were told that he's going to still. He's not doing anything.
He's
with
coaching our
softball
running
until-
backs this year, so
Okay.
he's actually
Oh,
taking
is
that
he?
group.
Wow.
And let me tell you, he's the master. I mean, a lot of people think he's just country Billy, but he knows his stuff, and he is a master at. I mean, arguably the running back group could be the most egotistical group out there. And he makes them so unselfish and working together, and that's a testament to him. I mean, he's done it for I think it's what he say his 45th year, 46th year coaching.
He's been around for a while.
I mean, so he's full of knowledge and wisdom, and I love having him around.
Well, Coach, next Saturday is the Rafferty's Bowl, and it's going to be the last year being at Western. Give us a little preview of your game against Bullitt East, and if you want to preview the first game too as well, go right ahead.
So Bullitt East, they'll have great size up front on both sides of the ball. I don't think that they've got a returning starting running back, but I know they have some good backs. I think he's got a quarterback battle going on. One of them, his brother was the state champ from 22. Coach Keegan's first year as a head coach there, they won a championship, beat Mayo in 6A. That's pretty impressive. So, it's a great test for us. I love that Rafferty's is still behind us, supporting us in this bowl game. It's the oldest bowl game in the state. I don't think there's anyone that's any better. You'll have Boyle County and Owensboro Catholic opening up tonight. Wow. When those guys are at championship games every year. So that'll be a great matchup. Should be a great crowd. Rafferty's loved the experience of having the games at our high school last year. So moving forward, our next go-round, all of our games will be at Bowling Green High. But still with the backing of Rafferty's and an exciting atmosphere and a great way to start the season.
Now, this game is not a class game anymore, but we talked about this last year. You're head-to-head with South. That's at Bowling Green this year, correct?
Correct.
How important is it that you keep that one on the schedule?
Oh, I mean, just for the community. I mean, it's a great rivalry. I mean, when we were in the same district together, we drove each other to greatness. I'm a firm believer in that because we were both so focused. I'm focused on Owensboro now. They're the 5A state champs. So,
Right.
Yes, South Warren game's important. When we play them, they embarrassed us last year, and I think our kids want to get that taste out of their mouth and go out there and compete. And, however it ends up, we just want to make sure that we leave it all out there. It'll be another measuring stick game for us. They're a top 6A team. So there'll be tails in the stands. It sells tickets. So, we'll continue to play them. Brandon was quick to call me as soon as the new districts came out, and but it doesn't have that same juice because we're not in the district together. But it's still an important game in the community.
Don't tell student section that they got the juice for it.
Yeah, they showed up.
They will.
Win or lose, they're going to be there. And that's true.
For the players, I know you got a scrimmage coming up, as Coach said earlier, but how excited that next Saturday you get your season underway at Western against Bullitt East?
I'm really excited for it. In the past 4 years, we haven't been able to start off 1-0 in our program every year, so it's just every year it gets more eager and eager to start off and win this Rafferty's Bowl. So I mean, the hype building up to it is you got to go all out. So I mean, I'm very excited for it.
I'm very excited for it. I'm very eager to step on the field at WKU, and just the first game feeling is going to be amazing. I'm just so ready to go out there and hit somebody, try to get a win.
Yeah, it's always great to play at Western. Great environment, great student section. I'm just ready to win this game.
What do you want to see out of your guys in that first game? Obviously, we talked about the scrimmage, but first official game, what do you want to see from you guys?
Well, I'm usually not focused on a win in the Rafferty's Bowl, which I guess clearly by my record in the Rafferty's Bowl is evidence. But with our kids wanting to gain confidence, it would be really something for us to go against a really good 6A team and get a win under our belt. It's going to take a lot to do that. So it's not a win or go home type thing, but I do think that everybody's a little hungry in our building to, as Parker said, put your best foot forward and battle. And our goal this year is against some of those top teams, we were right in the game in fourth quarter in a lot of those and let it get away from us. And that's not what we normally do at Bowling Green. We usually finish games and figure out a way to win those. And that's what we're challenging this group to do. We've worked our tail off, put yourself in a position to win, and then finish it. So, hopefully we can start the year off like that. We'll see. But that's the joy of playing the game.
Is there a position group you kind of have a microscope on that you're kind of watching? Maybe it's just offense, defense as a whole, or is it just the team as a whole?
Offensive line.
Okay.
But you know what? They're pulling some pieces together, and that's an important unit, and it takes a while to gel. And I'm sure there'll be a number of bodies flying in and out of there in the early games, and we'll settle in with the right people. And it's not for lack of coaching or effort or players. It's just a matter of it takes time sometimes. And once we pull that together, I think offensively you'll really see something going.
Now, of course, as always, D93, our sister station, broadcasts Bowling Green Purples football all season long. Roy Beard, Tim Wagner on the call, and so forth like that. And, Coach, Tim is glad this year that we got more home games this year and not very far to travel as much as you did last year.
Yeah, I think we wore everybody out last year. On top of the iffy type season we had, we were road warriors, and I like playing on the road. I'm sick like that. I'd love getting the team away from everybody and being focused and all that good stuff as a coach. But our stadium's a heck of a place to play. Mm-hmm. Each week we're going to have a different set of eyes on us from the state with these top teams coming in, and it's going to be an exciting atmosphere. And I know our seniors are, it's their last go round, and so what a way to go out. Their last year, they're going to have all these great games at their home stadium, and they get to leave their imprint on Purple's football.
I guess my last question for you, Coach. What does it take to get this team? What kind of season is this team going to have to get back to Lexington?
Well, I impress upon them all the time, and, I'm hard on seniors. I really do believe that once your seniors kind of take over the tempo of a practice, and they are the voices you hear out there getting on people to drive them through the tougher parts of practice and lead ups to games, that those are the teams that go on to do great things. So it didn't quite happen like that last year, and I'm really challenging this group. And it takes time sometimes. Everybody has their own way of leading. Some of them don't have that loud voice. But I think as the season goes on and they can see the end is near, that when we're clicking, there's nothing like a Bowling Green senior. It's hard to get them off the field. So, I'm going to lean on them again. Sometimes people tell me that's a fault, but it's just the culture of our program, and I'll live and die with them.
All right, so, Coach, the first game is what, on Saturday at 4, and then Purples kick off at 7, is that correct?
7:30.
7:30, all right. So
7:30.
7:30, so don't forget, D93 with Tim Wagner, Roy Beard, they'll be going live at 7 o'clock. I'm sure they'll have some pregame comments from you, Coach. I'm sure you'll talk to Tim about that, I would think. That'd be great. And you can follow the Purples all season long on our sister station right here on D93.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
Coach, it's great to have you on here too as well, Coach.
You young
Thank you,
men
players, as well.
did a good job. You did well, man.
Yeah, good stuff. And if you want to change your mind about Mountain Dew, maybe we can say if they have
I'm open and
a no-calorie. Yeah.
if they want.
Okay.
Well, they do
Open
have
all of them.
They do have Mountain Dew Zero, so there you go.
Still,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
December comes around.
That's right.
Yeah.
Once December.
there you go. There you go.
All right, we want to thank you guys for coming on in. That's Sports Talk on Talk 104.93 WKCT. Make sure you tune back in next week.
Oh yeah.
Awesome guests. Brian, who we got?
Well, speaking of Tim and Roy, they're going to be here next week to preview
right.
Bowling Green's football season. So they're going to talk about that, and it's going to be an all Bowling Green night, pretty much as well too, because Adam Witt is bringing his golf teams in here next
okay.
week too as well. So got the girls team on and the boys team on for the after party too as well. So it's a Bowling Green kind of night, purple night next week. So everybody tune in, have some fun with it.
All right, until then, everybody have a great week.